Hey everybody, Dr. Rob, Facebook Live here. We're going to talk about food, maybe everybody's favorite subject. What to eat, what not to eat, why we should eat it, and maybe how we can all put it together. Hippocrates once said, food is your medicine. So a lot of people have been emailing me and asking me a list and what to do. A lot of this was taken from Dr. Mark Hyman, a true forerunner's book, Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? So I really want to give a big shout out to Dr. Hyman. He does a great job as a leader in functional medicine, and his book is a great read, and I strongly recommend it. So a lot of these lists are attributed to him. So without further ado, let's talk about some things we should eat. I love to start with protein because I think protein's a great choice. Protein's something that will enable muscle tissue to repair. It's a poor energy source, but it can be used as an energy source. It's great for putting that muscle on, holding your posture, and it also has a lot of vital nutrients coming with the proteins. So which protein should we eat? Well, let's take a look. We'll start with the foods, but with proteins, chicken, turkey, and duck. Obviously, white meat is my choice, unskinned. In all these different items, you want them organic or pasture. Pasture is going to be big. It's hard to get pasture fed, but places like Whole Food and some organic places do carry them. Strongly recommend them. You know, a lot of people immediately say, you know what, I would normally buy it. I would go to a Whole Foods or I would go to my organic place, but they're more expensive. Yeah, they're about 50% more expensive, so that everybody now doesn't want to buy them. However, what we found out is that not only are these healthier for you and you're investing in your health, so what have you put into your health savings account today? Food is information. Food is health. Food is your bloodline for life and function. More so, just that 50% increase, you're going to need to eat less because these foods are full of nutrients, and that leads to something called satiety. Satiety is the feeling of fullness in your body, and you get that from nutrients. You don't get that from calories. So if you ate normal chicken, which isn't healthy for you, 6 or 8 ounces of chicken, turkey, or duck, you still may not feel full. You'll only have to eat 4 ounces, so even the initial purchase looks like more. You won't have to eat as much. So it's not more expensive. And then when you look at the health value, there's no comparison because to me, there's nothing more important than your health. So we covered that. In addition, omega-3 whole eggs that have to be pasteurized. Pasteurized is the biggest thing. Not worried about cage-free. Not worried about cage-free. We want them pasteurized, omega-3 whole eggs. Yes, the whole egg with the yolk. The yolk is all the nutrients. It's the essence of life. The white is the protein, but you can have them all together. Do you have to do 5 eggs at one time? No, you could do 5 eggs with 2 yolks, but the yolks are a critical element. They're good cholesterol in there also. Let's not throw them out. Everybody thought they were bad. It was been proven wrong. A lot of literature. The whole egg. In addition, beef and lamb. Obviously, beef and lamb are what? Gluten-free. No kidding. So beef and lamb are great choices. Obviously, we want it wild. We want it ability to be grazed. We want it to be organic. Bison, venison, and elk, my favorite. Without question, my favorite is bison. Tastes fantastic. We want the bison grazed. And when we say grass-fed, that's all they eat. So we don't want them touched, meaning we want them in a normal habitat. As long as these venison, elk, and bison are the normal habitat, they're going to have proper omega-3 to omega-6 ratios. So some of the problems with some of the beefs that we get here, like a regular cow beef, let's go through it. Interestingly enough, the regular cow beef is pumped full of antibiotics. So it gets pumped full of antibiotics, it blows up. It is what your food eats that matters. It's not just what you eat. So we have to go to the source and see what they had. In addition, non-organic meat is being fed corn, soy. The soils are horrific. They're full of pesticides. So I strongly recommend staying away from any kind of regular beef, any kind of eggs that are not pasteurized. So you really want to eat these bison, venison, elk, beef, and lamb. In addition, if you're going to eat fish, and I'm a big fish proponent, obviously wild salmon is the choice. But here are the real choices with your omega-3 rich fish. That's going to be your smashed fish, your salmon, your mackerel, your anchovies, your sardines, and your herring. All really high in omega-3. Many of the other fishes pose an issue. Those big fishes are a problem. They're full of mercury. You truly want to avoid them. Number one fish you want to avoid is tilapia. Joanne just gave me a note. It's not, it's pasture raised. I made a mistake. It happens, you're raw. Can I have that? Come on, I want to show everybody. Come on. What did I say?
Pasteurized.
Pasteurized. It's pasture raised, everybody. I'm wearing it. I made the mistake. It's pasture raised. Here you go. Thank you. So you know I'm not alone. It looks like I'm alone sometimes. Thank you so much. In addition, let's take a look at clams, scallops, mussels, and oysters. We like all those because they're very high in zinc. Zinc is a critical mineral. It helps with a lot of health issues. It helps you with 300 enzymatic reactions. And zinc is also great if somebody has a concussion or a TBI, which we talk about a lot here. So we like the clams, the scallops, the mussels, and the oysters. The shrimp. Any fish from Alaska is going to be wild. And that's what we want. We all want this wild fish. Wild. We want to avoid farm-raised fish. So many times we go into the restaurant and we get a farm-raised fish and we think farm-raised salmon is healthy. It's one of the most unhealthy items that we can conceivably eat. So in addition, you want your shrimp from the Gulf of Mexico. Then it works really well. To speak to salmon, I just had a patient come in and we were talking about their diet and they said that they eat really well. And one of their go-to meals is sushi. They love to eat salmon with the sushi. Joanne's giving me a big smile. So they're eating, because it's not indicated, it's farm-raised salmon, really bad. It's white rice, high in the glycemic index, really very deleterious to your health. And the rice has some sugar added because it tastes really sweet, and they use the rice vinegar, they have gluten in it. So that type of sushi is really, really bad. My suggestion is if you're going to go for the sushi, go for the sashimi. Avoid the tuna, high in mercury. Notice no tuna here, really high in mercury. And in addition to avoiding the tuna, avoid the regular salmons. You want to use more of the regular fishes. Finally, we also want to talk, I'm not a dairy person. I strongly recommend everybody avoid dairy. A lot of people asked for dairy, so I wanted to include it. It is in Dr. Hyman's book. There's specific dairies that he feels that are appropriate, and I'm compelled to agree with him on certain issues. Nevertheless, grass-fed whole milk, small amounts. Grass-fed whole milk on small amounts. In addition, you want grass-fed butter. Excellent. Remember, don't blame the butter for what the bread did. So if you have grass-fed butter, it's extraordinarily healthy for you. In addition, ghee, which is Indian butter, it's outstanding, and you can use that to cook with at a very high melting point. And clarified butter, really the dairy's been stripped out. So if somebody has a definitive dairy or is concerned about dairy, they can get a clarified butter. In addition, ancient grains. Now that list of ancient grains is growing. Quinoa is one of the bigger ancient grains. Chia now is considered an ancient grain. Millet, farro, barley, all ancient grains. Anybody can Google ancient grains. I personally don't have a problem with any ancient grains. So these are some of the foods that you can eat to list that food is your medicine. I'm going to flip my guy over here. We got a whole bunch more to share with you. It's truly exciting. And here we go. Vegetables. All greens are good as long as they're organic. All greens are good as long as they're organic. You don't want anything grown in a non-organic soil. And the problem is that most of the soils are ruined. 93% of the soils in America are full of pesticides. We use about 3 billion tons of pesticides in our soil. So again, these are all going to be ruined. People use it because it's cheaper, it's easier, and it lasts longer. So if you're not sure if it's organic, just leave it out for a couple of days, and if it begins to rot, it's an organic vegetable. If it stays in its pristine condition for like 2 or 3 weeks, it's not an organic green. The only thing I may recommend you avoid is iceberg lettuce. Other than that, all greens. Green means go. Let's eat it. Fruits. So here we go. Avocado is a fruit. Coconut is a fruit. And most people may or may not know that, but the other third hidden fatty fruit is an olive. So here we have avocado, monounsaturated fats. Here we have coconut, saturated fats, really positive for you. And here we have olives, high in omega-9. So those are 3 fats. all good fats, but they're fatty fruits that are outstanding for you to consume. In addition, while blue, black, raspberries are great choices, without question, the blueberries have a tremendous amount of polyphenols, been shown to really help with brain health. Cherries are a great choice, just not a large amount of cherries. They definitely have an effect of letting you go to the bathroom. If you eat enough of them, you'll poop like Secretariat. So limit your amount of cherries. Cherries are great. And believe it or not, lemon and limes are fabulous. Joanne's giving a big thumbs up because she loves those lemon and limes. On top of her salad, it wasn't because of her alcoholic beverages. Absolutely not. Lemon and lime are great choices. In addition, oils. What oils do we recommend? Well, let's start with organic avocado oil, which is going to be something great in which to cook with. Organic extra virgin olive oil. I like the extra virgin olive oil because it's something I really enjoy adding to a salad. You want to add some fat if you have a salad and vegetables. The reason you want to have some of the fat is really enables those phytonutrients to come and be digested. You don't want to eat, I used to only eat plain salads. I was notorious for that. People thought I was chewing on cardboard. So now I at least have some nuts or a light amount of oil because you need the fats to get all the phytonutrients out. Phyto meaning plant nutrients. In addition, walnut, flax, and hemp oil. All great choices, really rocket ships for omega-3. So you've got ample oils to choose from. Nuts. Here are the nuts that I like. Almond is my go-to choice. Walnuts are outstanding. Pecans, cashew, and pistachios all have different medicinal effects for the body. All great choices, always using an organic choice. In addition, seeds, chia seeds. Chia seeds may have the most omega-3s other than fish oils. Chia seeds are a great choice to eat. They taste great. Mix it in the morning with anything that you like. In addition, flax, hemp, and pumpkin seeds are all really good choice. Sweeteners. Everybody asks sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners we want to avoid. The typical artificial sweeteners are bad for your health. They damage your microbiota. Your microbiota communicates with your gut. It communicates with your brain. There's been incidences of these artificial sweeteners that increase diabetes, weight gain, dementia, stroke. No artificial sweeteners. We're even trying to avoid stevia. Stevia is not as adversely effective in health as all the other artificial sweeteners. We've just seen with stevia that it increases your ability to gain weight. So obviously if you want to take an artificial sweetener, you're not looking to gain weight. Here are the artificial sweeteners that we love. Monk fruit or lohengao. Monk fruit is a great choice. It's 300 times sweeter than sugar, and there's been no effect or no studies to show that it has an adverse effect to insulin release. And coconut sugar. There are some calories. There's not a lot. Coconut sugar is outstanding. It's very filling. Get an organic coconut sugar. And now you have an easy list of foods. Like I said, it was driven by Dr. Mark Hyman's book, Food, What the Heck Should I Eat? These are some of the, and most of the list of foods that he recommends, and some that I would also. This is not inclusive of everything you can have. These are just great starting points to eat. And what I found now, so much so, to the doctors and to the patients who watch my Facebook Live, so many people saying, what do I eat? How do I eat it? Where's my list? This is just a starter list, because if you were to list all this, we would be here all day. There's so many green vegetables. So when you really think about it, the big takeaway here is Jack Lane said, if man makes it, eat it. Okay, I got it. I know I did another mistake. It's Tuesday. If God makes it, eat it. If man makes it, leave it. Don't be manipulated by your food. You're going to pull me out now, right? Do we have any questions before I get to anything else, Rock?
We do have a couple of questions.
Outstanding.
So the first one is about the preparation of the food. How do I prepare it?
Right. I'm not a really good cook. My wife is an outstanding cook. Everybody knows that. That's eating with us. They know that I probably can burn the house or disintegrate any chicken soup. But as far as what we've done with the chefs that we work with and what my wife cooks is, we found that the George Foreman grill is very effective because you can use the George Foreman grill by using some water. You can also grill it, and if you're going to grill it, feel free to use an onion or lemon. Also, if you're going to cook in a pan, some of these oils like avocado oil are great. Coconut oil, which I didn't list, I think is a great oil also. And any of these, I wouldn't cook with extra virgin olive oil, obviously because it is cold pressed. So I recommend that to be added to the food. But I would start with the avocado oil or the coconut oil. That would be a great choice. You just heard about the George Foreman grill. I don't own any stock in that. There's rice cookers that you can steam it in. They're quite effective. Steaming is a great choice. You want to steam a lot of the foods just a little bit, not for a very long period of time. One green vegetable that you don't want to steam is broccoli. You want to chop broccoli. You want to chop broccoli and leave it out because it releases an enzyme called myronase, which makes sulforaphane. So a lot of people don't realize sometimes you want to chop, leave it out, let the food come to the top, let the nutrients come to the top.
Okay, cool. How about water, coffee, and tea?
I didn't discuss beverages. Water, you want to consume half your body weight in water. You always want a good quality filtered water. I try and get my patients to 2/3 to equal amount of ounces per their body weight. So half, so if the average person weighs 150 pounds for argument's sake, they drink 75 ounces of water. I want to see 100 to 110. Most people are dehydrated, especially when we take different BIA tests. We see that. Coffee, I'm big on coffee. It is my choice. I made sure I said my Northeast accent with it. I like my coffee. I like it with a little almond milk and a little monk fruit, but I want organic coffee. Coffee is the third most sprayed item out there behind cotton and tobacco, so I'm a big proponent of organic coffee. Teas or your organic teas are really great choices. Unless you have an issue, I'm not so concerned about the caffeine unless you're drinking like 4, 5, 6, 8 cups of coffee. Please try and avoid the Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. They are burnt. They are full of pesticides if they're non-organic. And then when you burn coffee, that burnt that Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks are known for, it releases acrylamide. Acrylamide is a horrible toxin that has an adverse effect to everybody's health.
Okay, and last question. How do I incorporate what you spoke about?
The biggest thing,
Where do you start?
the incorporation. So I don't think the list is that long that anybody couldn't start with the list. So let me say that I think the list is ample. If anybody needs a copy of it, we can type it. So, I'm going to ask everybody to like, click, and share what we're doing here. If anybody needs a list, we're very happy to make the list out and share it with you. So I do believe that you can do this. So let's start with one thing. How about one thing per group? So number one, I'm going to go back here. I never do this. I'm going to do this. So if we go here, what do I recommend? Pasture raised. Right? Let's have the pasture-raised eggs and meat and or organic. So grass-fed beef is number one. I don't think I said that before. Grass-fed beef is number one choice when it comes to beef, then organic, believe it or not, because it could be organic corn or soy. So you want grass-fed beef. I want to make a point. So if you're going to eat beef, the takeaway is grass-fed. If you're going to eat chicken, turkey, and eggs, we want pasture-raised. And if you're going to have a fish, pick it out of the smashed fish and make it wild. So those are easy implementable steps. Over here, if you don't eat any of these, I'm not an issue with it. Again, you're looking for grass-fed and organic. So when we come down here, all greens are good. Make sure if you're going to make the change to greens, do all organic green vegetables. Your fruits, eat some of the fattier fruits. We want to keep our blood sugar down. Diabetes is a major problem. Avocado, coconuts, olives, and blueberries. Those are my choices there. Here you have your oils. You have ample oils. Everybody can always have extra virgin olive oil because you don't have to cook with oil. You can use the George Foreman grill or the regular grill without it. Choose a good nut. Here's the key to nuts. Make them raw. Make them raw, because typically if you buy, I fly all the time, everybody always gets offered almonds. They think they're eating something healthy. Almonds are healthy, but they're cooked in canola oil, which is rancid. It's garbage. So you want raw nuts. The best thing to do is sprout the nuts if you can. We can give you some suggestions if you ask us on how to sprout them. Finally, same thing with your seeds and your sweeteners. Just avoid all the crappy sweeteners. Limit your sugar. Do the GPS of health. No gluten, no processed food, no sugar. Take care of your DNA. No dairy, no nicotine, no artificial sweeteners. Organic, free range, wild. Make some good choices. Again, stay gluten free. Do we have any more questions?
No, that's it.
Remember, like, click, and share. Make a comment. This is important. It's all about food. Dr. Albo is yours in health.